Hey guys, what's up? So once again, mp4podcast.com, and I have the greatest camcorder application for iPhone, iPod Touch, and iPad 2. This application is called FiLMiC Pro. So let's start it up. Right now, I just want to go into the menu, just to give you an overview of the buttons. Here we have exposure lock, which is very important for filmmaking. Maybe you have a light at the side and you want to exposure lock to somebody else, and an actor on the other side or something like that. It's very handy. Here we have white balance, info, that's what we just hit. Library, that's where it saves all your movies. Settings, and then a sound meter, so you can keep a good eye on your sound levels. So that's actually a really good tool right there. So anyway, let's start up the application, go back into the application, and we go into settings. And here we have the resolutions. I was just playing around with something. We go back to 720p. Here we have 720p, 640 by 480. Now that is the 4:3 ratio, and so are the other ones right here. So we'll go out of that. Frame rates. Let me explain frame rates. Now, if you're in NTSC land, that's Japan, North America, and I believe Mexico. If you want to make DVDs or Blu-rays, or you want something to be on broadcast, 30 frames per second is what you want to shoot at. Now 25p, that's PAL territory. That's Europe, and I believe some countries in Asia are also PAL. Now 25 frames is for PAL if you want to make Blu-rays, DVDs, and also PAL for broadcast. Okay. Now, if you're in England and you want to film a football game, also known as soccer, and you only want to upload, you only want your footage for YouTube or Vimeo, whatever these other video sites, you can shoot at 30 frames. They'll actually have a smoother picture, because when you shoot with less frames, you do have more blur. Okay. Now 24 frames per second is the Hollywood film look. So if you're making a movie, if you want it for the theater, or maybe you just want to get something really quick with your iPhone, shoot at 24 frames per second. Now this pertains to NTSC users. If you wanted to make a movie, little movie, and put it on DVD or Blu-ray, you can shoot at 24 frames per second, but then you have to put it in a 60i wrapper where it doubles up on a few frames, which gives it's kind of like a fake 24p. So like on the third or fourth frame, it shows it doubles, so it gets to 30. Sometimes when you see that, you get a blur effect, kind of like if my finger's going like, you'll get like a double. It's like a ghosting effect. Also, 22 frames is really handy if you want to shoot an action scene, or you have some actors who are in a fight scene. You shoot at 22 and then you can drop it in at 24 timeline. And those 2 extra frame drops will actually make the action a lot more faster. Now the guys over at Digital Rev, actually I got that other tip, the 22 frames, for another YouTuber I forgot to say. I'll try to find the link to that video. 15 frames a second is really good if you just want to walk around and make a quick time-lapse video. So you can play around with that. Now the guys from Digital Rev, they reviewed a Nikon which has 15 frames per second. I'll try to leave that link in the description box as well. Here we have color bars, slate, film slate. Now you can configure your film slate right here with all this extra stuff. Grid, frame guide. Frame guide is awesome. Let me just go back to 2.35:1. Now, I just watched a new Star Trek movie, and I have a high definition widescreen TV, 16:9. There are still black bars on the top and the bottom. That's because they filmed in this ratio. People do that because it gets more of the Hollywood movie style look. So if you want to have your whole TV set filled up with no black bars, you want to go down to 16 by 9. Now you can, like, let's just say, for instance, we want to go to 235. What you go out. Let's just get out of here. This also applies to the 4:3 ratio. And we'll do done. As you can see right here, this is the 2.35. Right up here is grayed out. Okay, it's still going to film this grayed out, but you know where to crop. So when you go into your video editor, and like on Sony Vegas, you just have to move it once and it'll line up perfectly to get that crop. So here we go. Single, double, rectal, I believe this is called. Not really too sure what this is right here, but then you got upload. You have YouTube, Vimeo Plus, and this is a little weird because the official Vimeo Plus app will upload to standard Vimeo accounts. So maybe the developer can change that. Facebook, Dropbox, FTP server, and of course YouTube. I think I might have said that. It's a great application. It's really handy if you're into filmmaking and you want to have that 24 frames per second. Now, also, even if you're not, I want to point out something. Even if you're not into filmmaking at all, you just like to film things with your iPhone or whatever, this is also a great app just to lock the frame rate. Because when you use, let me just close this. You can go back to the official camera app. This one right here. This is the one made by Apple. It comes with your camera. In low light, this application can drop your frame rate to like 23.97 frames per second. It can go to 24 or 25 or whatever. Out in daylight, it goes to 30 or 31. Now, Apple does that to try. They use that to adjust the exposure. More frames need less light. Less frames need more light within the second that the frames are shuttering. Now, I'm a Windows user, and if I'm mixing different footage that has different frame rates, it's really kind of a pain for me. What I used to recommend to people was, get the iMovie application, just render the whole thing out as one file, and then you can chop it up in Sony Vegas. Now you can film everything at one frame rate, doesn't matter the lighting that you're in. You can still change the exposure, so that's really, really cool, so you don't have to worry about that. But there's just an extra thing that Apple put in. Okay, so let me just give you an example. If you're filming with the iMovie, what it's going to do is it's going to take the 24 clips and then double those up a couple frames within that video to make a fake 30p. So it's going to be like a fake 24p and a 60i wrapper. And I know that's sounding a little confusing right now, but that's a real headache. And now you can just edit with Windows, absolutely no problem. I think I'm going to probably film with 24p, also because it makes my files smaller. Remember, if you're filming with 30p, you have 6 more frames to upload to YouTube or Vimeo. That's going to take longer. And to tell you the truth, most people, just for regular things, you're not going to be able to tell the difference between 24 or 30p. But there is a difference. It does give you a little bit more blur, especially if you're having people walking around. And then when you color grade it, it's going to look a little bit more film, give a little bit of a film look. So anyway, guys, it's a great application. I really love this application. It's called FiLMiC Pro, and the iTunes link will be in the description if you want to download it with a computer, or you can just search for it on your iPhone and download it. It's a great application. It's only $2.99, and I think this is something that filmmakers have been waiting a long time for. Now, there is another developer who's working on an application similar like that. I forgot the name of the website. I'll leave a link to that website as well. I like the, sometimes I have applications, two or more applications that are similar. Like I have Histomatic, I also have Retro Camera. I have two tune applications on my iPod Touch that do like cartooning. They all have different features, but they're similar. But I like to play around with apps, and sometimes they go back and forth between the two. So keep an eye out for the other one. Right now, FiLMiC gets 5 stars. It's a great application. If you enjoyed this video, guys, please subscribe to the channel, and because I'm always making new videos, guys. Take care, everyone, and make a movie.